Welcome back to Making the Madness on YouTube. The transfer portal continues to fill up. We got recent word that Nimari Burnett is adding his name into the transfer portal. He is likely to be on the move, and certainly a big loss for Texas Tech long term, I think, for the program. But what are your thoughts on Nimari Burnett deciding to transfer?
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised. He was playing about 17 minutes a game. He was struggling heavily this season, shooting 28% from the floor, only 5 points a game. I like the talent of Nimari Burnett a lot. He's a guy that can play the 1 and the 2 on and off the ball, but he was just struggling this season as a freshman. I thought he'd be really good this season. Obviously, that did not come to fruition, but with freshman guards, it's always tough to tell sometimes, and Burnett just didn't fit in right away. He wasn't starting with McClung there. And now you look at where he could be headed, there's going to be a lot of options for Burnett. He was heavily recruited out of high school. He was a really good player. He was a projected lottery pick, I believe, in some places, but at least a first-round pick most spots. I think Burnett is definitely going to have a long list of teams after him.
Yeah, I think there'll be no shortage of teams trying to get him because he is just a talented piece. And look, he at least thus far has not figured it out. And we'll see if he can maybe do so at another school since he won't be going to Texas Tech anymore. But I just think with him, he's someone you just got to give him another right fit, a program that kind of needs guards for next season, I think is going to be good. So there's a few programs I'm kind of looking at, but certainly he's going to be a hot commodity in the transfer portal, especially for programs that look like they might need some guard help for the future. So he'll definitely be highly sought after.
Yeah, there's a lot of schools that'll be in the mix. You look at Oregon, they were a school in his Final Four. You look at a school like Michigan. You look at Alabama, who was also in his Final Four, along with Texas Tech. That was his Final Four list. You have Illinois that was in the mix. You have Nevada that was in the mix, but that was with Eric Musselman as the head coach. But I still think Nevada should be in the mix here with Steve Alford because I believe UCLA was after him with Alford also. And you look at what Nevada's done. They've added Addison Patterson. They've added Will Baker, two former high-end recruits, along with Grant Sherfield, Desmond Cambridge. They added a lot of transfers, and I think Steve Alford could get Burnett to Reno to play for the Wolfpack. Well, that's not going to be my pick. I think that's a sneaky option. You look at Louisville, that's an option. You look at Marquette, that's an option. There's so many options for Burnett, and I assume most of the teams that were in on him before will continue to be in on him. But what's your pick for Burnett?
Yeah, my pick for Burnett is going to be Illinois. I think you get Ayo Dosunmu, who's going to be likely heading to the NBA. I'm not going to say it's official, but it's
It'll
much
be official. Yeah, it's official.
It'll be official.
Unofficially official.
Yes. So he'll be gone. Trent Frazier will, I think, probably be gone. Now, I guess he can technically come back, but I'll say he's probably gone. So there's some real option at the guard spot. Now they have Andre Curbelo who can come in and play the point guard in place of Trent Frazier. I think Burnett slides in kind of into the Ayo Dosunmu role, playing the 2 guard. You have Adam Miller playing the 3, and that's your backcourt. That's a really good backcourt that for, I think, multiple years in the future, maybe if Adam Miller or Burnett become NBA players, that changes. But I think multiple years can kind of grow together, develop together, and still be able to get Illinois to go far, even when Ayo Dosunmu does eventually leave, which I think will be after this season. So I think Illinois just makes too much sense. I anticipate him going there.
Yeah, that does make a lot of sense. That won't be my pick, but that's definitely an intriguing option for Nimari Burnett to go play alongside Andre Curbelo, the star freshman, this season. You look at the team I'm going to go with. I'm going with the team in the West Coast. I'm going to go with the Oregon Ducks. They were in his Final Four list. They're going to lose Chris Duarte after the season. He can play alongside Will Richardson. there's a lot of reason to go to Oregon. Dana Altman has brought Oregon back to relevancy and being a really good program. He's built a lot there. Phil Knight, obviously the Nike owner or whatever, he's big into that program too. So I'm sure they're gonna have a lot of people wanting Burnett to come to Eugene. I think he'll be really good for Oregon. He'll be one of the top players in the Pac-12, and I think Burnett to Oregon makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, I think that there are just a lot of programs. I think of another one, maybe Michigan. If Eli Brooks and Mike Smith both decide to leave, he could go there. Like you mentioned, Eric Musselman recruited him to Nevada. Maybe Eric Musselman recruits him to Arkansas. Like that,
That's a fair point.
There's so many options really for Burnett. I think he'll be maybe the most highly sought after player just because of all that upside he does have, even if he struggled this year. So it'll be definitely interesting to watch. Certainly for Texas Tech, they get hurt from a depth perspective with Burnett not being there, especially in the future when maybe Mac McClung heads to the NBA or Terrence Shannon does as well. I think for Texas Tech, this is going to hit hard. I think more so next year than it does this year. But certainly losing a player of Burnett's caliber, certainly not great for the program. But at the same point, I still kind of trust Chris Beard to continue to keep Texas Tech consistently making the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, definitely. Chris Beard's a great coach.
Yeah. So make sure to subscribe to Making the Madness on YouTube. We'll be back if there is a more transfer. We'll be back to break it down. So make sure to subscribe.